734-663-6200. That's 734-663-6200. Ed's got a good company. He takes care of his customers and has all kinds of coupons in the back of the Current, COURANTonline.com. If you don't get it a hard copy mailed to you, you can go right online and get it for free, COURANTonline.com.
Did you say his name is Ed?
Ed.
Well, duh.
He's got to be a good guy,
yeah,
right?
Duh.
Yeah, he's got to be a good guy. So, well, let's take a quick call from Joe on line one. You want to talk Kid Rock? Why do we? Joe, go ahead.
I don't see Kid Rock on our agenda. Thanks, Ken.
Joe. Go ahead, Joe. What do you got?
Ken brought him up, and there's the Detroit News article I thought you'd be interested in about the left-leaning group Common Cause filing a complaint is Kid Rock breaking campaign finance law. And frankly, I like Kid Rock. I'm a fan. But yes, he's breaking campaign finance law. He needs to get off the pot.
Whoa, you didn't say that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
Hopefully you
said spit.
That one.
Hey, by the way, you did see Kid Rock's response on Facebook, right, where he's holding the Verners and the Coney Island?
Also unmentionable, by the way. So
I didn't say anything. I just said there's a response, yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's kind of just sucking oxygen out of the room until he actually steps up or gets off the pot one way or the other, and he needs to do that. So I tweet to his whatever, and you never know on Twitter if it's actually him or
the
it's
handler.
Somebody doing.
It's the handler.
It might not even be a handler. It could be some schmuck. I don't know who it is. But anyways, yes.
Well,
at Real Kid Rock.
Facebook, they're quoting the article. It says, Richie said in his July 27 blog post that money raised at this time through the sale of merchandise, which clearly says Kid Rock, U.S. Senate, that clearly puts him under finance law, is going to go to voter registration efforts, then he needs to file a PAC. He needs to make Kid Rock PAC, and that would be a great thing, and he can continue to sell these novelty items to raise money for that PAC, and then he could run anti-Stabenow ads. Imagine how effective a Kid Rock PAC ad would be at the end, anti-Stabenow paid for by the Kid Rock PAC.
Joe, candidates can't be involved with a PAC, so right there, there's a cross connect that's not allowed by law.
If he's not really a candidate, I guess. And so I would just say, let's not. Yeah. I don't want to give him any more airtime until he actually gets off the pot, right? So, for me, the best, most qualified candidate is still Bob Young,
Jr.
Absolutely.
Jr. And I think you heard me in the first half hour. He only needs what, Joe? 30% of Wayne County, and he's probably going to win.
Us that?
Right? That was Joe.
Give or take a couple percentage points. Trump proved it. Trump only won the state by 10,000 votes, but he got the 30%-ish area needed.
Yeah, and that's what it takes. So Bob Young is a good guy, well qualified, probably as tough and crazy anti-establishment as anything you'd get out of Kid Rock. At least he sounds like it when he's on this show. And so I'm all on Bob Young until something else happens here, and he's a great candidate and certainly ready to rip into Debbie Stabenow if we see a debate. I'm hoping that happens.
But, Bob, we know you're listening. Step up the social media, please.
Yeah, you got to get out there. You got to be. He's a great candidate. People need to
doing
know he's a great
grassroots. He's
candidate.
everywhere. I've been watching. He's going to all these open houses.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's important.
Yeah,
that's important. So hopefully,
that's a bone of contention I have with him too. I've mentioned it to his campaign manager. I need to sit Bob Young down personally the next time I see him. You guys too, to step up the social media. He says he has millennials working on that. Well, we all know millennials generally do the minimum possible work.
They're probably high in their mom's basement.
Yeah, well, most
he
millennials.
needs to pressure them to do more.
Yeah, exactly. What else you got, Joe? Anything?
Oh, that's it. Because we see the other person, which I'm not going to mention her name.
Yes, please don't.
All over in group postings and stuff. So
Yeah.
It's not enough just to have your own page and post stuff. You've got to share it with groups and stuff. Do these millennial nitwits not understand how the thing works?
Yeah, well, I can tell you this. There's a reason Fox 2 Detroit, which is a very liberal station, right, in my book anyways, and there's a reason they put her on all the time because they want to lose her on the Republican side, so they give her all the airtime they can in order to give Debbie Stabenow the leg up in the general election. So.
That's the story of how I heard Snyder got where he got, is that there were liberals in Ann Arbor, a couple of wealthy liberals who said, look, we're going to lose.
Let's go with the liberal rhino.
Let's go with the liberal rhino.
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. And it worked.
All right. Well, thanks for the call, Joe. Appreciate it.
All
Keep
right.
up the good work.
Take care, my friend.
You too. Bye-bye.
See you, Joe. Oh, and happy International Bacon Day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about that for a second. I didn't even know. Why didn't anybody tell me? I would have had bacon this morning.
Hey, Ken called in earlier to Linda Rick's show, and he mentioned it.
International
I
Bacon
looked it up.
Day.
It is. There's actually a
bacon.
There's a bacon wiki.
Huh?
There's a wiki devoted to bacon.
What's a wiki?
Oh, that's like a Wikipedia or a knowledge base, an online knowledge base.
All right. Well, let's take a quick call from Tom who got a comment on Obamacare. Go ahead, Tom. What do you got?
Oh, I got a couple of things. One thing I was going to say, on that bacon, I don't have any craving at all for bacon. I haven't had for years. I credit that with Dr. David Brownstein, a book called Salt Your Way to Health. I think the majority of Americans are deficient in sodium.
That's just crazy talk.
Contractions for thinking. It's chemical electric, the human body is. But getting on to the Obamacare, okay, I'm in Detroit in an urban area, and people around here, they love Obamacare, and I got a whole different view over here. And, when Republicans come on and they say, oh, just repeal it, we want it like it was, it's kind of like, let them eat cake. And, the definition of cake was, back in Marie Antoinette's time, was when they, the chimneys, their wood stoves would develop like a thick creosote on there that had to be cleaned out, and a black soot almost. Sometimes it's real gooey if you burn certain woods. But that's what cake was, okay? And, I'm just saying, the amount of wealth that's been drained out of this country. I was working in the automotive back in the 60s, and we were a rich country. We were the greatest creditors in the whole world, and now we're the biggest debtors. And, that's why the Republicans, they're not getting any traction, because people are hurting. That's my opinion. And
yeah, well, and you know what, Tom? And that goes to the point that I'm making why I'm so hard on Mitch McConnell. Because you know what? I truly believe that getting the corporate tax rate down, that unleashing the American business machine will bring people up, including in the inner cities. And so it aggravates me when people say, oh, Trump's just doing wealthy stuff for the wealthy people. That's bull. That is bull. Mm-hmm. We've got better employment going right now. We've got more people coming back into the workforce. The stock market happens to be up as well. But why won't the rest of the elitist Republicans jump on board with this and get it? Because you know what? If we're all back to work, we're not going to vote Democrat looking for entitlements. We're going to vote Republican looking for jobs.
Tom, I was looking at health insurance a while back. I was thinking about changing jobs last year, and the interim health insurance was Obamacare. And it was an absolute – it was insurance, but I'd be spending like $12,000 out of pocket before I saw a penny of any insurance refund towards me. And imagine if you're only making $24,000, $30,000 a year, in the area, let's say in the urban area you live in, then what good is that doing you? And yet I know middle-class people who have been just devastated. They're self-employed. They're like tutors, music teachers, store owners. They are absolutely devastated by the costs, the healthcare costs that have gone up. I'm not so devastated myself, but I am negatively affected by the healthcare rise because of Obama-era healthcare policies. My out-of-pocket's gone up quite a bit, so the raise that I got changing jobs was negated by the healthcare costs that was passed on to me. Well, it's a hidden cost.
I sometimes wondered, Tom, down in your neck of the woods, if you're in Detroit, how many of those people, so they have Obamacare, maybe they were heavily subsidized and were able to get insurance, but it makes me wonder how many of them actually go into the doctor and can afford the deductibles if there are any, and because I don't know.
Are they employed? Are they marginally employed? Are they on welfare?
Or are they on Medicaid?
Some people are, and some people are on permanent welfare.
Yeah.
And I don't socialize that much around here. I'm an older guy, and actually most of the houses right around me are abandoned, and I only have a few neighbors. I talk to them, but not, I don't get.
Can you give the neighborhood
their financial affairs?
Can you give a rough neighborhood? I'm just curious.
Well, I get along with all my neighbors. I go out for walks, but I carry a 9mm. and
So
I don't go out without it.
So you're like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino, right? Stay off my lawn.
Well, I'm working in Detroit now, and I'm driving through.
I don't get smart with anybody. I don't, try to stare anybody down. If somebody's coming down the street on my side, I'll, and they look, like they're going to be tough or something, I'll walk to the other side of the street. Hey, you're the winner. You stared me down.
Yeah.
But they're not. There's a certain distance where I'm not going to let somebody get close to me.
Right.
If somebody comes up and starts trying to get close to me, I start backing off a little bit, and then it's body language, and it seems to be well read around in this neighborhood.
Yeah, good. All right, Tom. Well, thanks for the call. Good to know, and keep us informed on that, would you?
There's one other thing I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
If I got a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Obamacare, where it says that you have to buy it, it's in United States Code Title 26 at 5000A. Okay, that's in the section for excise taxes. So what this really is, this is a direct tax, but it's disguised as an excise tax. And in the case, the International Businessman versus Service, the Obamacare case, that was only businesses that went in there. They didn't have a person, a man on the land, a private individual going in there without an attorney fighting for their rights.
Right. I thought that was rescinded. I thought that order was rescinded, and you don't have to buy health care now. I thought Trump did that.
At Section G, it says that they can't bring criminal charges and they can't do liens and levies if you don't pay the penalties. But, I suppose they just keep your refund. Or, and I don't know if they could go after your Social Security or not.
Yeah, that's what I had heard, that they can keep your refund. That's the only thing I had heard.
I'd heard it was rescinded, but Trump did an executive order and was rescinded.
He might have. Yeah, he might have. All right, well, thanks, Tom. Appreciate the call.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Let's take a quick call from Walter on line 1. Go ahead, Walter.
Hey, guys, I want to bring up something about, I just heard, did you guys just say that nobody has to pay, it's possible nobody has to pay the fine, or has that been done away, that part, or is that not exactly
I thought,
or
like
what?
Ed said, I thought the Trump administration had said they were not going to fine people.
Yeah.
But don't hold me that.
I
thought I had heard that, but I don't.
Because it didn't apply to me directly, I didn't really look it up immediately. But that's what I'd heard, that was one of the first things Trump did.
Yeah, so, what else you got, Walter?
That within itself would be a great blessing to the tax filers. Because, believe it or not, if I hadn't have health care to kick in within the 3 months in my job, this new job I'm on,
yeah, well,
I would have been fined $1,100.
Yeah, what scares me most about the IRS is that this Koskinen fella, the guy that looks like from Lord of the Rings, the little Gollum guy, right?
My
he's
precious.
still there. Why is he still there? That's what I want to know. Why is he there? And I had read recently that they brought back like 200 people into the IRS that they'd been booted out because of that investigation, and now he's bringing them back. This guy needs to be gone now, and files charged against him. I want to know who in the IRS is paying the price for targeting conservative groups. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, they need to revisit that. None of them bombs should get away with nothing, man. There needs to be a lot of arrest of all the crooks, man. Hillary on down.
Yeah.
But anyway, Barack Obama, too, by the way, the ringleader of the liars and the deceivers.
Okay, Walter.
Let me say this, though, but, hello?
Walter, it says here, on Trump's order, IRS stops enforcing Obamacare fines. So they're still there on the books, but the IRS has been directed not to enforce them. That's how the executive order works.
Well, that's good. Well, like I say, if the people have to pay a fine the next time around, next year when they file next year, which is a few months away, I don't think none of those clowns going to get voted back in for stalling around. And basically, you guys know, like I know, it's not all about we need to pass this, we don't need to pass that, we need to hold up. It's all about half of those clowns do not like Donald Trump, and they're willing to hold this whole country hostage because they hate Donald Trump.
Yeah,
let's not forget that. Let's not be deceived.
Yeah.
Okay, we already know John McCain can't stand them because of it's called revenge, and they're willing to hold the whole country. But let me say something real quick about the subsidies. Ed talked about the subsidies. I'm gonna tell you something. If you make between $20,000 and $30,000, you probably ain't gonna get no subsidies, no matter how big your household size is with wife, husband, and children. If you hit that 30,000 mark, you call in those so-called health lines and stuff like that get subsidies.